Hello, everyone. Today we're going to talk about the first three skills on inequalities, which are inequalities from graphs, plotting inequalities, and lastly, testing solutions to inequalities. Now, in fifth grade, you should have gone over some of inequalities, or rather sixth grade, you should have gone over a little bit with the inequalities and the types of symbols you'll see, but let's review those symbols first of all. So the first one that we have here, which I'll circle in green, you have your less than or equal to symbol. And you'll notice that this circle here is actually filled in. When we talk about open and closed circles on the next slide, you'll understand why that's filled in. Notice that the symbol, the arrow is pointing to the left. When you have less than or equal to, on your number line, you're going to draw your arrow to the left, because if you think about it, the further to the left you go, the smaller your number gets. The numbers get smaller or lesser as you move to the left. The next one below it, which I'll circle in red, we've got just less than. Notice there's not that equal half of an equal sign underneath it. So this would just be less than. And as you can see, there's an open circle for that one. Then we've got, let's do in purple, we've got greater than or equal to. And you'll notice that the arrow is pointing to the right, because if you think about it, if something's greater than on a number line, typically you're moving to the right, your number is getting larger. And then last but not least, on the bottom one, we've got just greater than, which is an open circle. So let's talk about these open and closed circles. So what does it mean when you have an open circle? Well, basically an open circle means that the number is not included in the solution set. And then likewise, if you have a closed circle, it means that that number is going to be included in the solution set. So let's do some problems so that you can understand what exactly I mean by being included or not included in the solution set. So it says, what is the inequality for each graph? Well, we've got an open circle around -2. So I know that it's either going to be greater than or less than. My arrow is going to the right, which means that it's going to be greater than. So the way we would write this, if we're using a variable, is that x would be greater than -2. Okay, here, the second example, we have a closed circle going to the right, which means that the symbol that we should be using is greater than or equal to. So as you can see, the closed circle's on 1, which means that x is going to be greater than or equal to 1. So when we get to some of the actual inequality problems, you'll see what we mean by the solution. So basically, if you have an inequality, if I were to plug 1 in, any number that's 1 or greater than 1, it will work in your inequality. Last but not least, we've got an open circle to the left, which means that we're going to be using the symbol less than. And since my open circle is on 0, that means that we are the x will be less than 0. Okay, let's try a couple more of these. These are some of the problems that you'll see in Khan Academy. Oops. It says, choose the inequality that represents the following graph. Well, we have a closed circle on 0 going to the left, which means your symbol is going to be less than or equal to. And then we'll just use x since that's what they're using in the solutions. And looking at A, B, C, or D, the one that matches what I have here is going to be answer choice B. Let's try one more of these. Choose the inequality that represents the following graph. I can see that I've got an open circle here at -5, and it's going to the right, which means that x is going to be greater than -5. And looking at my answer choices, I can see that C is the correct option for that one. Okay, let's take a look at the next skill, which is plotting inequalities. Basically here, they're going to give you a graph as well as an inequality like they've given here, and you're going to have to graph that. So I can't do that here, but see this green dot, you would have to drag that to where 1 is. So I'm going to actually just use purple and plot it. And then notice that these say switch direction or make circle open. Well, as I can see, this is a greater than symbol, which means that I should actually have an open circle rather than a closed one. So at 1, I'm going to draw an open circle. So I would have to click this button, make circle open, since it's a closed circle given. And then if x is greater than 1, my arrow should be going to the right, which in this case, the arrow is going to the right. So I would not have to click switch direction. I would only have to click the make circle open and then drag the green circle over. Let's try another one. So this is x is greater than -3. So what I would need to do here is click the make circle open because it's a greater than symbol. My arrow is going in the right direction. And then I would just need to relocate this and move it to where -3 is. Let's try one more of those. So we've got x is less than or equal to 4, which means that I should have a closed circle, which we have, and my arrow should be going to the left. Well, in this graph given, you can see the arrow is going to the right, so I would have to click switch directions, and then I would just need to take this and relocate it all the way to 4, because our inequality graph should look something like this. Okay, the last one that we're going to talk about today is testing solutions to inequalities. So let's take a look at a few examples from this. It says, which of the S values satisfies the following inequality? So we're going to actually go ahead and solve. We're going to plug each one of these answer choices in to see if it works. So where you see S, I'm going to plug in 6, then I'm going to try it by plugging in 8, and then try it by plugging in 10. So let's start with A. So that would be 7 minus 6 over 2 is greater than 3. Well, 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 7 minus 3 is 4. So that says that 4 is greater than 3. Is that true? Yes. So that's correct. But notice it does say choose all answers that apply. Let's try the next one. 7 minus 8 over 2 is greater than 3. Well, 8 divided by 2 is 4, and 7 minus 4 is 3. Is 3 greater than 3? No. 3 is not greater than 3. So that one would not work. Next, we're going to plug in 10. 7 minus 10 over 2 is greater than 3. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and 7 minus 5 is 2. Is 2 greater than 3? No. So this one would not work either. So the only correct answer choice here would be answer choice A. Let's try another one. Which of the following B values satisfy the following inequality? So again, we're just going to go through and plug it in. So we've got 5 is less than 8 minus 3. Well, 8 minus 3 is 5, so that means that 5 is less than 5. For the next one, we've got B equals 9, so let's go ahead and plug that one in. So we've got 5 is less than, well, 9 minus 3 is 6. Is 5 less than 6? Yes, so that one would work. Let's check the last one. We've got 5 is less than 10 minus 3. Well, 10 minus 3 is 7. Is 5 less than 7? Yes, that also works. So in this case, B and C would be correct answers. Okay, which of the K values satisfy the following inequality? Again, we're just going to be plugging in here. So starting with answer choice A, we've got 6 is greater than 2 times 0 plus 4. Well, 2 times 0 is 0, plus 4 is 4. Is 6 greater than 4? Yes. So that one would work. The next one, we've got 6 is greater than 2 times 1 plus 4. Well, 2 times 1 is 2, plus 4 is 6. Is 6 greater than 6? No. So that one would not work. 6 is greater than 2 times 2 plus 4. Well, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8. Is 6 greater than 8? No. So for this one, A would only be the correct answer choice here. So that does it for the first 3 skills. The correlating note-taking packet pages are pages 25 through 29. And again, if you want to see additional examples, you can watch the videos on Khan Academy. Have a great day, everyone.